At Sword's Point is a 1952 swashbuckling film that's a pseudo-sequel to The Three Musketeers. What do I mean by pseudo? Well, RKO, the studio that made this, didn't even bother to make their own adaptation of The Three Musketeers. They just went straight ahead for a sequel. Ah, yes, the plot. The Duc de Laval, probably pronouncing that wrong, is scheming to seize power from the old queen by getting rid of her son, the rightful heir to the throne. Since he's only a child, he can't defend himself, so the queen sends out for the musketeers to save the day. The only problem is they're either old or dead. Well, that's okay, because the children of the musketeers answer the queen's call to action. There's D'Artagnan Jr., played by Cornell Wilde, Aramis Jr., played by Dan O'Hurley, Porthos Jr., played by Hale Jr., and Claire, the daughter of Athos, played wonderfully by Maureen O'Hara. And of course, people think she's weak because she's a woman, but it turns out she's the toughest out of all of them. Yeah, if you haven't seen this movie, you can probably figure out the big complaint people have with this is that it's really formulaic and predictable, and usually that bothers me, but it doesn't really bother me with this movie. Why? Because this is a fun movie. It doesn't take itself too seriously and embraces its cheesiness. I get the feeling that this was intended to be a serious film, but after the actors and crew read the script, they were like, fuck it, if we're gonna make this movie, let's at least have fun with it. And that fun translates exceptionally well to the audience. I love watching these four banter. They all have really good chemistry. They all have this ego where they want to one-up each other, and you kind of like this competitive nature they have. They're not being dicks, they're just having fun. And that's the part I want to keep emphasizing. I feel like people today don't have enough fun when they go to the movies. It seems like a majority of viewers are looking for films to challenge them or make them ask a lot of questions about life, and I love movies like that too, but part of why I love films is their entertainment value. Sometimes you just want to sit back and have some fun and not think about the tumultuous roller coaster that is life. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Maureen O'Hara is one of my favorite actresses of all time. She was actually in a lot of swashbucklers like The Black Swan and The Spanish Main. Here, she trades her dress for a sword, kicks some ass, and is pretty cool while she does it. I honestly can't think of too many swashbucklers where the main protagonist is a woman, especially from this era. You go, Maureen! I do have to highlight that my favorite scene is when Maureen is trying to seduce a guard and the others pop up pretending to be the other men in her life. It's a comedic scene that falls a little flat, but the actors are having so much fun with it that I look past it, and I really enjoy this scene. I could talk about the little facets of this film I enjoy for another hour, but what would be the point? You should just see the movie yourself.